Hey YouTube, what's going on? Anthony Frasica back at you with another episode of Here in My Office. Um, now, we're at, I always mess the countdown up. I don't even know. We're at like maybe 42, 43. Here in My Office 42. Too many, let's put it that way. I mean, I was probably going to dial back this stuff when I got a job, but um, I've been basically pretty discouraged lately with how things are going. I mean, we went from having four companies interested in me at the same time to nothing, and even a couple of those companies, I'd say I'm very disappointed at the way they handle things because I was literally told by a human resources person that I was going to get to the next round and there would be another call, and never heard anything. They disappeared. So and it's got me thinking. I have to figure out a way to make money that isn't dependent on anyone else, at least not to the extent that working at a company is, like what I'm accustomed to. So this week, this coming week, today's Sunday, so I have a call with my attorney on Tuesday, and we're going to talk about some documentation that needs to be put together for pre-settlement funding. And what it is basically is an advance on a lawsuit settlement. So if they can say, okay, Anthony, we know you're going to get X amount of dollars in the future. We can make you a loan right now, and then they work that out with the attorney and they make sure it's a strong case. They give me the money, and then they get paid when I get I get paid, I get, fronted the money, and then they get the rest of their money once the case settles. So that's the biggest thing going on with me right now, because I'll tell you what, we are broke. We're broke. So it's an emergency situation here with this stuff, and I didn't think I'd ever get into this position. I didn't think it would take this long for me to find a job, or I didn't think it would be this long that I would be unemployed, but I've been unemployed since September of 2018. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We're in month 10. And I'll tell you what, the bills don't stop. So what I'm thinking, and it's not like I'm doing nothing. In the meantime, my wife does Instacart, which is like a delivery service it's like delivering pizzas, but you're delivering groceries. And we do that just to make ends meet, just to, have some money. And, I had a savings that got drained because of all this. And for you guys that don't know, I have a wrongful termination lawsuit in place. So what I want to do, what I'm thinking I should do, is with that money, instead of taking it and going out and buying an expensive car and things like that, going through this experience has made me realize that I need security. I need investments. I need assets. So, as much as I want a Range Rover, $120,000 for a car that's going to depreciate to zero, it's probably not the best idea for me. So it depends on how much the lawsuit settlement is. That's the other thing too. I don't know how much money we're looking at. We know it's multiple six figures, so it's going to be a substantial amount of money. It's not going to be millions of dollars, but it's going to be a lot of money. And it's designed to make me whole from what happened to me. And I'm still, I think about it every day. I'm still recovering from the shock of what happened. But so long story short, what I think I'm going to do is, once I get the money, I'm going to do some real estate investing, and I'm going to purchase some rental properties. I say rental properties. I'm going to start out with one rental property and see how that goes. But I was thinking, in the beginning, I was looking at $200,000-$300,000 houses, thinking that, I want to get something perfect. But it's probably a better option for me to just get something that's like, I don't want it to be a shithole, but it's going to need some little bit of TLC. I don't want to be a slumlord, but I'm looking at, I live in Buffalo, New York, so there's houses You can get houses for $30,000 here. You can get houses for $25,000, 2 units, but they're trash and they're in bad neighborhoods. So there's a nice house close to me, for example. It's a 2 unit, $70,000, rents out maybe, I think rent was $1,500 a month for the whole building. So the way I look at it is the way the math works out is I would like to have enough rental properties to cover my expenses. And that means that, and I'll still keep looking for a job. And I got to look for something day to day, unless this real estate thing really takes off and I become, full-time real estate investing and I don't have any time for anything else. But what the start goal would be is to accumulate enough rental property so that the money that comes in from the rent, and buy them cash. So I take the cash I get from the settlement, I take that cash, instead of just throwing it into the bank and letting it sit there for next to nothing in interest or putting it in the stock market, I'm going to put it in real estate, pick up, and it's going to be enough money that I can do this. It doesn't matter how much money I get. If I settle for, even if I settled for $150,000, which is not going to be that low, but if it was, I could still pick up two $70,000 properties, and around $80,000, you can start getting some homes in Buffalo, in decent areas in Buffalo. And I live in Amherst, right on the border of the city, so they're close by to me. It won't be that hard to visit people and take care and maintain the houses, so that in the future, and the way I look at it is it seems like maybe for every $100,000 you spend, maybe you can pick up, I don't know, $1,500 in rent per month. So if you do the math, I pick up a few locations. If I picked up 3 properties that each made $1,500, that's $4,500. That pays my expenses. That covers the cost of living here, and it would cost a couple. I mean, if I buy $70,000-$80,000 houses, if they were $80,000 each for $240,000, I could have 3 properties generating, like I said, almost enough to cover my cost of living here. I'm blessed that we're going to get this cash. Don't get me wrong. So I need to be smart with it. People, they come into money and they do stupid things. So, so while I said I'm broke, I'm broke, but I have a future. I have a bright future ahead of me with what I can do with this settlement. So, and right now we're asking for $1 million. We're not going to get $1 million. But just to give you a little idea how much we're talking about, it's going to be a good amount of money. So putting it into real estate, getting that up and running, and I mean, I'm talking about owning 3 locations. I would think that I'd have to be available to the tenants a little bit. Like, I don't think I could be working 40 hours a week at a 9 to 5 and maintaining 3 rentals. But I probably, where there's a will, there's a way. I probably could do it. But in the meantime, I have my MBA in finance, my bachelor's in finance, all my experience, all this auditing experience I have, and I've been casting the net a little wider lately. And I don't mean geographically speaking. Like, I was looking into being a financial advisor, looking for something with a base plus commission. I think as a financial advisor, you could have a $50,000 base, but you can make $150,000. You can make $250,000. Depends on how much clients you have, and to build that portfolio. So, I've always had an affinity and interest in sales and marketing and things like that. I am a people person. 12 years in audit, shoving issues down people's throats and dealing with audit reports and the auditees. I've really had a lot of experience with people, and I think it would be nice to get into a role where I'm helping people rather than giving them grief, which is kind of what you do as an auditor. But and people say that I should stop making these videos, and it could be hindering my progress. It could be hindering human resources departments might look at this and they might say, we don't want to hire this guy. I mean, I'm not doing anything bad in these videos. And I'll tell you what, if I have to live a life where I can't be myself, I can't do what I want to do because of some stupid job that I am a slave to, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen. That's why you build multiple streams of income. You could tell the world to kiss your balls. You know, I'd say, you know, I get another job, say for argument's sake, and I get fired again in a couple of years, but I have 3 investment properties bringing in, you know, all this money every month, bringing in, you know, $5,000 a month, say for example. I'm going to say, oh well, I don't need this job anyway. Take it and shove it. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. There's some power in that. So, but and I love real estate and property. I always have. I used to draw pictures of houses when I was a little kid. Used to draw pictures of mansions and always dreamed of having a big house, and always loved the idea of owning a lot of property, which I finally do. But you know, unfortunately, it has to be in this shitty situation that we're in. But yeah, I'm in my what would be forever home if things work out and we can get through this problem and stay in this house. I'm fine here, but you know, we're behind on the mortgage, and to be frank with you, I've even been looking at like now while I'm looking for different career type jobs. I haven't even. I've now if that pre-settlement funding doesn't come through, this is going to be even more true. But you know, I'll go out and cut grass or do some labor just to bring in some money, just to bring something in. Because the Instacart thing, we're gonna Instacart more, but you know, you might be able to make, you know, $100 in one day, $80 in a day. Which, if you do the math, you're talking, it's the equivalent of having a minimum wage job. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to support my cost of living here. So I've been looking to see if, you know, my wife can do that on her own. She doesn't need me. And then if I had some type of labor, some day job, something that I could just pick up like that, and you know, they don't care, and at least to just to make ends meet. And I'd probably have a good time doing it. Probably meet some good people, and you know, I've resigned myself to the fact that I am not above doing work that I did when I was a teenager. You know, if you're desperate times call for desperate measures, so you got to do what you got to do. But this is getting long, so it's getting kind of long in the tooth. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to know I'm getting a little jaded with the whole job search, and I'm going to keep doing the job search, but I think real estate investing is where it's at. I think that my future could really be positively shaped. I'm 37 years old. I don't want to be 57 and say, shit, remember that time we inherited all that money from that lawsuit and we pissed it away? I don't want that to happen. I want to say, look at this large real estate investment portfolio I've built over the years. I built an empire, you know? And I'll start with one, you know? It's nothing to sneeze at, you know? You don't hear a lot of stories of people getting rich at the 9-to-5 jobs, but real estate, yeah, you do. It happens. So you make a lot of money. I have, in fact, people in my family or extended family that have made a killing in real estate, gotten millionaires. It made a lot of money, millions of dollars. So that's exciting, you know? Sitting at a 9-to-5 job, I know I'm looking for one. I'm doing it because I'm out of necessity, and it's what I know. It's what I've been doing my whole life. But no, there's been days where when I used to be an internal auditor, and I thought maybe I want to be a relationship manager, which is basically somebody who sells investment products to customers, financial securities and things like that. Because I have a bachelor's in finance. So I did apply to like Mass Mutual and AXA Advisors to see if I can get into their financial analyst. I mean, I would have to get licensed as a Series 7, Series 63, the securities licenses to sell. And but I don't want a sales job, commission, and I don't want that to be my only hustle. Let's put it that way. Because say, being a financial advisor pays $50,000 base. Say I only make 20 in commissions, and I make 70 a year. That's half of what I used to make. But if I could augment that with a real estate portfolio, then we're good. And I was saying $5,000 a month for 3 units. So 5,000. I mean, what is that? That's $60,000 a year. So I make $60,000 a year real estate portfolio, $60,000 a year at my job, 70, 80, 90, 100, probably 100. Put the two together, you're making 160,000. I'm making more money than I made before, and I'm making it every month. Because when I say I was making 140, I really was making 115 with a $25,000 bonus. With the real estate thing and the job, I can make it so that I can pull in that much more money every month. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, guys. So I think I'm gonna title this video kind of real estate investing. And I know I made a video like this before where I was talking about this, but my father used to always talk about buying real estate and buying an apartment, and he never really did it. He had an apartment. My dad was a bar owner. He owned a bar for 4 years, so he had a upstairs apartment, which when they started out, they used to live up there, and then he used to rent it out to tenants. Not a lot of money probably because it's above a bar. I mean, who the hell wants to live above a bar? But so it's kind of in my family tree, and my uncle's a plumber in case there's plumbing problems. I've got a few connections that can help me out with the cost of maintenance because things will go wrong. It's not going to be a perfect ride. If it's houses in Buffalo with tiny lots, I could probably even cut the grass myself. If I had a couple, 2 or 3 units, there's a nice unit near me for $70,000. I don't need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the house because we're living in a low cost of living area in Buffalo. If I was in LA, I couldn't be buying up multiple properties for the kind of money I'm talking about. It would cost a lot more, or you'd be leveraged. And that to me is the scariest thing. Like, do you imagine? I mean, people do it all the time, but it's a way to, I was watching a video on real estate investing, and they were saying that you could buy like 5 properties with 20% down, mortgage them all, or you could just have one property cash, paid for cash, so all the money is cash flow and you're making all that money. So there's positives and negatives to both, but in my opinion, if you're going to put a mortgage on the house, I mean, what if you lose your tenant? You might have to eat that money, or you're still going to make those payments for the mortgage. And what if the money's not coming in from the rent? So, and not to mention, you're going to make far less money per rental unit when you mortgage it. So you're working on a margin, and your margins you could blow your margin. You better watch what you're doing, or else you're going to get, you might end up losing money. But if you buy the house cash, if you buy the investments cash, you can't lose money. It's all profit. So, I mean, for the price of a Range Rover in Buffalo, I could pick up 2 buildings with 2 units each, 4 units. So, I got to start thinking that way, guys. The Range Rover, the expensive cars and all that shit, that could come next. That could come down the line. get myself established, get the real estate investing going, get the money coming in. Ideally, have a job too, and try to do both. And then you know, after that, I can then I could buy my sports car. I could buy. What I want is a McLaren. They're hundreds of thousands of dollars though, so I would love a McLaren, but it's not in the cards right now. But it might be in the cards in the future, and I would love to bring that content to my channel. I watch a lot of automotive YouTubers. I don't think I'd be an automotive YouTuber, but I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. I don't have enough followers to think that, but I'm an aspiring YouTuber. I would like to make more content. I would like to make more exciting content. So stay tuned, guys, because there's more interesting stuff to come. Especially with the lawsuit, because you're gonna see a windfall of money, and you know, finally getting my life back on track, really, and it's gonna repair the damage that has been done to date, and I can share that with you guys, share my experience. But in the real estate investing game, I could turn this vlog into more of a beginner's guide or my journey. So if you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, you could watch the journey of somebody who worked in the corporate world for a decade, got out of it, or was forced to get out of it, and got into the real estate investing game, guys. And I'll be very candid and open with you guys. I'll show you exactly what I buy. I'll tell you what they rent out for. I'll tell you what I paid for them, and how much cash flow I'm bringing in on each unit, and just to give you guys an idea of what's possible in real estate investing and passive income. I wanted to build passive income streams for a long time, but it takes money to make money. So that's what's going on, guys. So I'll cut this short. I'll make another video, probably mid next week, the end of the week, and let you guys know if we learned anything from the lawsuit, how that's going, if we have a timeline, when we think we're going to get paid, and yeah, so catch you guys later. So thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We gained a couple subscribers. I always get excited when I see a new subscriber. We're coming up on 100 subscribers. Slowly but surely that'll happen. 100. I don't know. It's the YouTube channels I watch have tens of thousands of subscribers, millions of subscribers sometimes. So, but they're doing funner things than I am. I know this is kind of boring. So, but hopefully it adds value to some of you guys' day, and you like watching when you like to hear what I'm saying. And if you like this, again, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. So thanks, guys. Have a good day.